The art of not caring. Stoic detachment. There is a power that very few people ever learn, a quiet power, a dangerous power, the kind of power that makes you unshakable. It is not strength in the body, it is not wealth, it is not status, it is something far greater. It is the ability to not care, but not in the way you think, not careless, not cold, not empty. This is something deeper, something ancient, something the Stoics mastered long before the world became loud. And once you understand this, you will never be controlled again. Stay until the end, because most people will misunderstand this and miss the one idea that could set them free. Part 1. The Invisible Prison. From the moment you were young, you were taught to care. Care about what others think. Care about how you look. Care about how you are seen. Be good. Be liked. Be accepted. And slowly, without noticing, you built a prison. Not with walls, but with expectations. Every compliment became your fuel. Every criticism became your weakness. And before you knew it, your peace was no longer yours. It belonged to other people. Part 2. The loop of validation, retention loop. You check your phone, you post something, you wait. Who liked it? Who saw it? Who ignored it? Your mood changes based on numbers. A few likes, you feel good. Silence, you feel invisible. This is the trap, a loop, a silent addiction, and the more you feed it, the weaker you become, because your happiness is now outsourced. Part 3. The Stoic truth about control. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught something simple, but life-changing. Some things are in your control, some things are not. Not in your control, opinions, judgments, reactions of others. In your control, your thoughts, your actions, your mindset. And yet, most people fight for control over the wrong things. They try to control how others see them and lose control of themselves. Part 4. What not caring really means. Not caring does not mean you stop feeling. It means you stop being controlled. You can still love, but not lose yourself. You can still try, but not attach your worth to the result. You can still engage, but remain grounded. This is Stoic detachment. Not coldness, but clarity. Part 5. The day you realize the truth. Imagine this. You walk into a room, and for once, you are not thinking about what others think. You are not adjusting yourself to be accepted. You are just there, calm, present, unbothered. That moment is freedom. Part 6. The cost of caring too much. Caring too much comes at a price. You overthink, you replay conversations, you analyze every word, you question your worth. You become anxious, not because of reality, but because of perception. And the worst part? Most of it is imagined. Part 7. A lesson from Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, a man with power, pressure, and responsibility, wrote this in his private journal. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Think about that. Even a man who ruled an empire understood this truth. You cannot control the world, but you can control your response to it. Part 8. Memento Mori. Perspective shift. One day, you will be gone. Everything you worry about will disappear. The opinions, the judgments, the noise, gone. This is called memento mori. And when you truly understand this, you stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. Part 9. The strength of silence. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every argument deserves your energy. Sometimes, the strongest move is silence, because reacting gives power away, but staying still keeps it. Part 10. Protect your inner world. Your mind is your space, and not everyone deserves access to it. Not every comment deserves attention. Not every opinion deserves weight. Protect your peace, guard your energy, because once your inner world is stable, the outer world loses its control over you. Part 11. Stop taking things personally. Let me tell you something most people never realize. The world is not centered around you. People are consumed by their own struggles, their own insecurities, their own fears. So when someone ignores you, it is not always rejection. When someone criticizes you, it is not always truth. When someone walks away, it is not always your fault. But your mind creates meaning. It builds stories out of silence. It turns small moments into heavy burdens. And you begin to suffer, not because of reality, but because of interpretation. The Stoic pauses. He asks, "Is this truly about me, or is this simply their nature?" And in that moment, he becomes free. Part 12. Break the need for approval. Earlier, you were trapped in a loop, seeking approval, waiting for validation, needing to be seen. Now, you begin to see the illusion. Approval is unstable. It changes, it fades, it disappears. If your worth depends on it, your life will always feel uncertain. The Stoic breaks this cycle. He does not ask, "Do they approve of me?" He asks, "Do I approve of myself?" And that question changes everything. Part 13. The judgment of others is unreliable. People judge based on limited information. They see a moment and assume a story. They hear one thing and decide your character. But they do not know your journey. They do not see your struggles, your growth, your intentions. Even Epictetus reminded us, if someone speaks ill of you, do not defend yourself immediately. Instead, remember, they only know a part of you, and even that may not be true. Part 14. Detach from outcomes. You try your best, you give effort, you show up, but the result is never fully yours. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you are appreciated, sometimes you are ignored. If your peace depends on outcomes, you will always be unstable. But if your peace comes from effort, you will always be grounded. The Stoic focuses on action, not results. Part 15. The freedom of being misunderstood. At some point, you will be misunderstood. People will misinterpret your silence. They will question your choices. They will not see your intention. And that is okay. You do not need to explain yourself to everyone. You do not need to correct every misunderstanding. Because peace is more valuable than approval. The moment you accept this, you stop exhausting yourself. Part 16. Emotional discipline. Emotions are powerful, but they are not commands. You feel anger, but you don't have to act on it. You feel sadness, but you don't have to drown in it. You feel fear, but you don't have to obey it. The Stoic does not suppress emotions. He observes them, he understands them, and then he chooses his response. That is discipline. Part 17. Build a mind that cannot be shaken. Imagine becoming someone who cannot be easily disturbed. Insults don't shake you. Rejection doesn't break you. Failure doesn't define you. This is not luck. This is training. A mind built through awareness, through reflection, through control. Like Marcus Aurelius wrote, the mind becomes what it repeatedly thinks. So train it, guard it, strengthen it. Part 18. See the bigger picture. Step back and look at your life from a distance. Will this moment matter in a year? Will this opinion matter in 10? Most of what troubles you today is temporary, but your reaction can leave lasting impact. The Stoic zooms out. He refuses to be trapped in small, passing concerns. Part 19. Choose where to invest your energy. Your energy is limited, and every time you worry, every time you react, every time you overthink, you spend it. So choose wisely. Invest in growth, discipline, purpose, not in opinions, drama, noise. Because where your energy goes, your life follows. Part 20. The final shift. Now, return to the beginning. You once believed that not caring meant being cold, but now you see it means being free. Free from judgment, free from approval, free from unnecessary suffering. You still care, but only about what truly matters. Your peace, your growth, your inner world. And this is where your power begins. Part 21. When you start letting go. At first, it feels strange. You stop reacting. You stop explaining. You stop chasing. And people notice. They wonder, why are you so quiet? Why don't you respond anymore? But they don't understand. You are not losing yourself. You are finally finding it. Part 22. The old you versus the new you. The old you needed validation, feared rejection, overthought everything. The new you observes, accepts, lets go. Same world, different mindset. And that changes everything. Part 23. You cannot control people. You cannot control how people act. Some will misunderstand you, disrespect you, leave you, and no amount of explaining will change that. The Stoic accepts this, not with bitterness, but with clarity. Part 24. Detachment in relationships. You can love deeply without attachment. You can care without dependence. Because attachment says, I need you to be okay. But Stoicism says, I choose you, but I remain whole without you. And that is real strength. Part 25. Walking away without anger. Not every battle needs to be fought. Not every person needs to be convinced. Sometimes the strongest move is to walk away. Not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. Part 26. Stop explaining yourself. You don't owe everyone an explanation. Not everyone deserves your energy. Not everyone is meant to understand you. And that's okay, because clarity does not require approval. Part 27. Inner stability. When your foundation is strong, the outside world cannot shake you. Insults don't penetrate. Rejection doesn't collapse you. Failure doesn't define you, because your worth is internal. Part 28. You are not the center of everything. This may sound harsh, but it is freeing. People are not thinking about you that much. They are focused on their own lives, their own worries. So stop overanalyzing, stop assuming, stop carrying unnecessary weight. Part 29. Mastering your thoughts. Your mind will try to pull you back to overthinking, reacting, caring too much. But now, you notice, you pause, and you choose differently. Part 30. The return of the loop. Remember the beginning? You were trapped, seeking approval, chasing validation. Now look at you. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer react, you respond. You no longer depend, you stand. Part 31. The final lesson of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it. Everything you've learned comes back to this. Not control of the world, but control of self. Part 32. The mind of Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius faced war, pressure, and chaos, yet he remained calm. Why? Because he understood peace is not found outside. It is built within. Part 33. Becoming unbothered. Imagine becoming unbothered. Not careless, not cold, but stable. Calm in chaos, focused in distraction, grounded in uncertainty. This is the Stoic path. Part 34. Discipline over emotion. Feel everything, but act with discipline, because emotions are temporary, but actions define your life. Part 35. The quiet confidence. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. You don't need to show off. You don't need validation, because you know who you are, and that is enough. Part 36. Let them think what they want. Let them misunderstand you. Let them judge you. Let them think what they want, because their thoughts do not define your reality. Part 37. Protect your peace. Your peace is your responsibility, not theirs. So guard it, protect it, choose it. Part 38. Final loop callback. Go back to the beginning. You wanted freedom, you wanted control, you wanted peace. Now you understand it was never outside. It was always within you. Part 39. The transformation. You are no longer the same. You no longer chase. You no longer beg. You no longer depend. You have become someone who stands alone, but never feels empty, because you have yourself. Part 40. Powerful ending. So remember this. Not caring is not about losing emotion. It is about gaining control. It is about choosing peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, strength over weakness. And the moment you truly understand this, you become unshakable. Watch this again, because each time you will understand it deeper, and each time you will become stronger.